Melbourne well. You can't have any more drama.
And Serena smashes Steffi's record.
Oh, that is scandalous!
When they write the story of the great tennis matches ever played.
Roger Federer's greatest player I've ever seen.
That was simply extraordinary.
Almost not of this planet.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rod Laver Arena down here on court to AO Extra. My name is Shura Taft, and I tell you, if you're inside the arena right now, you wouldn't know it's 39, 40 degrees outside. It's very comfortable in here. The air conditioning is on. For those of you outside, I hope you're staying cool and hydrated. We've got a huge night of entertainment, including a lot of tennis. We're going to find out who's going to be making the Grand Slam final tonight. But I'm not joined by my normal co-host, Nat Edwards. I'm joined tonight by Catherine Murphy. Great to have you with us. Nothing's changed though, because Catherine Murphy is also on a box.
I am standing on a box. It's the first time I've ever been taller than a co-host, ever.
Well, you look
in the
great.
history of
it's
a
nice
great
to look
box.
you in the eye.
Love it. It's the first time I've looked a co-host in the eye.
It's
Loving
perfect.
it.
It's perfect. It's great to have you with us. As I said, going to be a big night. We've got a lot of guests on the show tonight. We've got young gun Alexi Popper, and he's going to come on and have a chat. AO legend Mark Woodford, one half of the Woodies, is also going to talk as well. As there's a bit of action going on behind us too.
It has been brilliant. You mentioned Alexi Popper. So he's just been hitting with Novak Djokovic. So we could not have a better guest today. He also trains with Stefanos Tsitsipas at the Patrick Mouratoglou Academy. So we're going to grill him.
Well, he's got a foot in both camps. He can't sit on the fence now. He trains with Tsitsipas, but he hits up with Djokovic. We need him to have an opinion.
We need him to have opinion. We will make it happen.
But just on that, of course, last night, it was disappointing for the fans who'd come along expecting to see a bit of an epic final, but unfortunately, Kei Nishikori, with the tennis that he was playing, it was just a bit much for him in the end, and his body gave up. And of course, that meant that Djokovic went through to what could be a record-breaking 7th Australian Open title chance.
Which would be huge. You did feel for Kei Nishikori. He's really been the marathon man of this tournament. Talk about super tiebreakers. He's just addicted to them, and I think he paid for that last night. Disappointing for the fans, but could be a record for Novak.
It could be a record for the man. We've just mentioned Novak Djokovic. This has been his Australian Open so far.
He doesn't give you much. He doesn't give you anything, to be honest. You have to be there the whole match, every point. If you have any dips, you know, he's going to take advantage of it.
Novak Djokovic, too strong, too good.
I just stayed solid from back of the court and served well, and for the first 2 sets just had things under control.
But the first 2, it was a little bit difficult for me. It's not every day I'm playing a match against a top guy like this and in a stage like that.
No problems for the world #1 today.
And then I was agitated. As I said, you know, it should not happen to me. I know better. I have experience, but it does happen, I guess. I allowed him to come back to the match.
In the 3rd set, that's when I kind of loosened up and started playing my tennis. You know, I just started really just enjoying myself. I told myself, look, all right, you know, you're already down 2 sets, so just have fun out there.
Makes no mistake about it, and that is a good comeback. Denis Shapovalov takes the 3rd set, and we're going to the 4th.
Yeah, it was important to start off the 4th set well, and it was, you know, close game, couple of close games, first 2 games, and making that break was crucial for me.
She played a really good 4th set, and after that it was a little bit too late.
Disappointing for Denis Shapovalov. A solid performance from the world #1.
Honestly, it was an amazing atmosphere. It was great to have so many supporters. It was so much fun, you know, to play on such a big court with such an amazing crowd.
Oh, it was a great atmosphere. It's great to see, you know, packed house in the first week of the Slam. Australia definitely loves their tennis, and they've been, you know, some of the most loyal tennis fans in the world for sure.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow night when Novak Djokovic hits the court. It's very exciting indeed. Now, I hate to burst the bubble of Catherine Murphy. We've taken her box away, unfortunately for her. So after talking about, it was nice to look you in the eye, we have to look down at you, Catherine Murphy.
I can't believe I'm looking up at people again. I want my box back.
But we now welcome Bojana Bobusic to the show again. You've been here before from AO Radio. It's great to have you back with us.
Thank you.
Lots happening at the moment, especially in the women's side of the draw. We now know our finalists.
We do.
How do we feel?
Pretty exciting, I think. Naomi Osaka, 21 years of age, won the US Open last year. She's had to fight her way through this main draw, and she's up against a really tough opponent. I think the player in form, Petra Kvitova, hasn't lost a set, playing some big tennis, beat Ashley Barty, who I thought was probably one of the better players in terms of form. But it's exciting. A younger player against a more experienced player. For Naomi to be about dealing with the pressure, being on court against a Grand Slam champion. Obviously, Naomi's a champion, won the US Open, but yeah, experience versus a younger player, be exciting.
What about that US Open win, though? I think it would be such a popular win for her to actually lift a trophy and potentially cry tears of happiness, because what we witnessed at the US Open was awful. She was crying tears and not of happiness. Both of the players have a really good story, but how good for Naomi Osaka if she could do that?
Oh, absolutely, and I think sometimes the toughest thing is trying to back up your first major, and Naomi certainly proved that she can do that. She's got a game to beat anybody, and we saw that tonight, especially in those pressure situations, the big serving, the big hitting, really calm and focused. So, yeah, she can beat anyone on any given day, and more so in the final on Saturday.
She's a really interesting character because she seems so introverted. But then on court, she has this kind of big personality in terms of how she plays. And so she's this balance of a person, really shy, but really expressive.
Yeah, she's a quirky character, but one word that describes her is she's so raw. Her post-match interviews clearly shows that. She's funny, very collected on court, focused, and I love her little fist bumps between each point. She's determined, and she's so young, and she's got a lot to grow as a person, but she's clearly shown she's pretty mature for being only 21.
What about Petra Kvitova? Speaking of, if we're to have a popular winner, it feels like a popularity contest because she's had such a tough road back from her attack. She questioned whether she could even play again. It's been 5 years since she's been in a Grand Slam final. She, again, would be a big crowd favourite.
And I think that's one of the best things is her story and her comeback. She clearly got emotional when she was asked the other night about being back on tour. I think it means a lot to her in terms of how well she's playing. But she's so tough and she's so in form. She showed that when she beat Ashley Barty in the final in Sydney, 7-6 in the third. She was up against fatigue, cramping, playing against a fellow Australian. So, yeah, I mean, time will tell, but she's a tough opponent for anybody.
Don't we love a comeback in tennis, though? Like, I'm thinking Monica Seles, Jennifer Capriati, like Hingis. Like, we love people coming back. And so hopefully, well, it's going to be a great final either way, as we had a great final last year. It should be a cracking final. Now, later on tonight, there's going to be some mixed doubles, and there's a couple of Australians hoping to make it through to a final as wildcards.
Yeah, we've got John Patrick Smith and Astra Sharma, both former US college players. So JP went to the University of Tennessee, Astra went to the University of Vanderbilt. So it's nice to see players making a different transition from the college tour onto the pro circuit. Astra's from Perth as well, so I've grown up a little bit with her. She's a little bit younger, but she's in some fine form. Had a great run here at the Australian Open. She qualified, made the second round. So it's exciting for these young Aussie players who kind of have flown under the radar, but they're in the semis. Anything can happen. They took out some really tough opponents in the previous round. So it's what an opportunity for them to play in Rod Laver Arena in front of a home crowd as well. It's exciting stuff.
And what about Sam Stosur? So good to see her in a final because everyone loves Sam. Incredibly successful, obviously, at the French Open, but how good to see her make a final here in doubles.
Oh, absolutely, and made the second week. And I think for Sam, unfortunately, hasn't made those results quite in the singles in Australia as much as she would have liked, but she clearly shows she still loves the game. She's so passionate. She's had some of her best results in doubles as well, and they've taken out the #1 seeds, and even her partner Zhang Shui, how excited she was to get into the final, and her epic, I guess, response and her excitement. So it's great to see Sam still playing, and she's probably been one of the most consistent players. I sometimes think that we underestimate how well Sam's done throughout her career.
Yes.
She's stayed healthy. She's still playing some big tennis, so it's really exciting for Sam. And again, another Aussie in the second week.
It is indeed. So we implore you guys here at Rod Laver Arena, once the men are finished, stick around because we've got some Aussies on court playing for a chance to make the mixed doubles final. Either way, Bojana, it's great to have you with us.
Thank you.
Lending your professional experience right here. But as we talked about before, Naomi Osaka, she's had an amazing journey since that US Open with Serena, and this is how she's got to where she's got.
Congratulations. Well done. Okay, you guys are rolling. Happy?
Yes, no problem. I've been playing tennis since I was 3, so it's something that I know I'm good at. This is like you've practiced your whole life for this moment.
Oh, yeah. What a way for Naomi Osaka to move on through to the semi-finals. Just a real powerhouse display.
We always try to make sure that her game evolves.
Today I just had one goal, and it was to try as hard as I can and not get angry. Coping with the pressure for me, it's never really been an outside thing. It's always been an internal. I think I put more pressure on myself than other people do.
I have to just tell her that, you know, grass is green, water flows, and everything is all right sometimes.
There's an inner peace I can tap into sometimes during my matches, and it's kind of hard to get to, but once I'm there, nothing can really bother me.
Seeing how she's able to solve a problem on court and comes back and wins it is beautiful to see. You know, shows maturity and shows that she's come a long way.
Oh, great rules from Osaka to get to that drop shot.
Taking an aggressive position at the net. That has been a key pattern of play for Osaka.
For me, I love Grand Slams. They're the places that I do the best. It's like this weird feeling of you want to do the next big thing. Especially now that I've won a Grand Slam, and I feel like I want to win another one, and I'm so close, and I just want to keep going.
Well, we'll find out on Saturday whether Naomi Osaka can be a double Grand Slam champion here at the Australian Open. We'll find out very shortly. My name is Shura Taft. This is Catherine Murphy. This is AO Extra. It's great to have you with us, and it's been a warm one today, Catherine, no doubt.
It has been a warm one, and that really had a big effect on our last match. Petra Kvitova does not like the heat, so at 4-all, they decided to put the roof on. Danielle Collins did not like that. She made that really clear, and she expended a lot of energy making that really clear. She had a few exchanges with the chair umpire about the roof and other decisions, and really that second set was a blowout. Petra, delighted to get the roof on, made it 6-love. Just like in Sydney when Petra Kvitova played Ash Barty, she was wilting under the sunlight. She was down a set, down 3-love. When the sun went down, she beat Ash Barty. So that roof had a big impact for Petra, and Danielle Collins didn't like it.
You've just got to control what you can control. When you're on court, you've got to not let those things get to your head, I think. So she'll learn from that, hopefully, at the end of the day. And Danielle Collins will go back to the heat, and she'll think about the fact that she's not in the final.
Absolutely.
Now, Novak Djokovic, as we know, is playing tomorrow for a chance to play in the 7th Grand Slam final here. Well, not his 7th, but to win his 7th Australian Open. Now, when he won his first in 2008, our next guest was just 10 years old. He was a wildcard entry at this year's Australian Open. He took all before him being our best performed Aussie. This is the man we're talking about, Alexi Popper.
Can you believe that you're in the 3rd round of the Australian Open?
No, not really. It hasn't sunk in yet.
Yeah, it's got it. Made that one look easy.
What are your strengths as a player? I've got a big serve, big forehand. I move pretty well for a big man.
I'm just going to keep looking forward and just preparing for the next round. Going into the match, I felt like I could win the match. I could push him. And that's what I did.
Oh, how calm can you be?
The crowd was amazing. They were on my side. You know, sometimes I couldn't hear myself think. Their support really helped me dig deep and, you know, find that extra spirit in me to fight.
Stunning
stunning standing ovation, and so there should be.
I still haven't achieved my goal of breaking the top 100 yet.
In one of the most dramatic matches we've had at the Australian Open this year.
I'm very happy with the way I handled it today.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by the best performed Aussie male at the Australian Open this year, Alexi Popper. What do you think when you see those highlights up on the screen there?
I get goosebumps, honestly, from watching them. Just remembering that match on Margaret Court really brings back good memories. Yeah, it just gives me goosebumps every time I remember the crowd.
How'd you feel coming into this Open? Because, of course, I mean, your expectation is I'd like to win my first match and see what happens, but it just rolled on from there.
Yeah, I didn't expect winning 2 matches in a row. I was just focused on winning my first match and trying to get past that first round. Yeah, but winning 2 matches was really something I didn't expect, but it was a great experience.
We just watched you have a hit with Novak Djokovic. How does that get arranged? Does he call you? Does he text you? Did you have to think about whether you'd say yes?
No, I definitely didn't have to think about whether to say yes. He's a legend of the game, but yeah, just half an hour before the hit, he came up to me, well, his coach came up to me and asked if I wanted to hit.
Half an hour before?
Yeah, just half an hour before. I came to do some media work, and yeah, and of course I had to say yes, and I had to dig through my bag to find some socks. But yeah, of course I'll say yes to that.
And you've also trained with Tsitsipas at the Patrick Mouratoglou Academy. Tell us a bit about the guy, because he's quite different. We believe he likes to keep to himself. Can you give us an insight into what he's really like?
Yeah, I've known him since I was 10 years old. We actually played an under-10s doubles tournament together. Yeah, he's one of my closest friends on the tour. Yeah, we train together. Yeah, he's pretty closed in and pretty introverted, but yeah, he's a great guy and fun to be around. Yeah, definitely.
Is he going to be okay with the fact that you've been hitting with Novak? Surely you've been, you know, potentially he could meet him.
No, definitely. I think he's okay with that. You know, I think he'd be proud of me to get the experience of hitting with Novak in. So yeah.
Now, how do you see that one playing out? Because you know both players, well, you know Stefanos a lot better, but you know a lot about Djokovic. How do you see it playing out? Does Stefanos go in? Is he the sort of guy who's unflappable and he won't get overawed by the fact that he's in a semi-final, or do you think he'll get tight?
No, I think he won't get tight at all. He's not that kind of guy. I think he enjoys the big stage, enjoys the big crowd, so he'll definitely come out with a lot of energy, with a lot of expectations for himself, and he'll definitely come out expecting to win.
Has he always been like that? Just that calm? At the end of that huge win over Federer, he just absorbed the atmosphere. He seemed to relish it. Has he always been that sort of guy? Yeah, he's definitely been one to, I think, take energy from the crowd. Yeah, and he's always been the one to enjoy the big stages, yeah.
All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, we're joined by Alexi Popper, who is our newest member of the Davis Cup. That's so exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
What does it mean to you to play for Australia?
Yeah, it's a dream come true, definitely. I've been wanting to play for Australia since I was a kid, so just to get the call up was really unbelievable. And yeah, I'm just ready to go out there and give it my all for my country.
Well, tell us about the call up. Did you get, whose number is this? Hello? Oh, it's Leighton Hewitt. How are you, Leighton? How did that go down?
I've actually got his number saved on my phone, so I got the phone call from him, and yeah, he told me I was playing Davis Cup. Yeah, and I said thank you, and I'm really looking forward to play.
It's been an incredible year for 3 of the young guns. You, Alex de Minaur. Just how good to have that group together doing so well.
Yeah, I think it's unbelievable. We're such a tight-knit group. We're friends with all of us. Yeah, and just to see Alex and Bolty and Ash Barty doing really well is amazing for Australian tennis. So it's great.
So when someone walks into the change room and says, "Hey, Alex," who turns around?
I think he will turn around.
Bolty or de Minaur?
I forgot about Bolty.
There's 3 Alexes.
Yeah, there's 3 Alexes.
You forgot about Bolty.
Pardon?
You forgot about Bolty.
No, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot his name was Alex.
Now, we don't want to keep dropping names, but let's just drop another one out there. Serena Williams. You're also mates with her. You've had a hit. Yeah. Have you got Serena's number? Have you sent her a message to say sorry about yesterday?
No, I wish I did, but no, I don't have a phone number, unfortunately. But I did get to hit with her, and that was an unbelievable experience.
What did you learn from that? Did you get to chat to her afterwards?
Yeah, I got to chat with her a little bit afterwards, just said a couple words, told her thank you for giving me the opportunity to hit with her. Yeah, and she told me that I had a bright future and just to keep working, so it really was a great experience for me.
Amazing.
She's meant to be amazing with other players as well. And of course, we lost Serena. She went home yesterday and of course is still chasing that 24th title. It's going to be elusive for a little while yet, but amazing what she's done since she's become a mother. And of course, this game yesterday between Williams and Pliskova, this is how it went down.
Serena is simply sensational.
Williams leads 5 games to 1.
No, the footfall on match point. What happened here? You can see just tweaked a little something here. Well, Pliskova keeps her hopes alive, courtesy of a footfall and possibly for some sort of injury. Too good. This remarkable match continues to entertain, and we're still unsure which way it's going to go.
Well, she's made it.
2 more match points. One more beckons. It's match point number 4. And she's going to need a 5th if she's going to see off Pliskova. Just when you think you've seen it all.
Here we go, 5-all.
3 of those doubles have come in this set. In a row from 5-1 down for Pliskova. She'll serve for the match. The only Czech player that Serena has lost to at a major, of course, is Pliskova. She's about to do it for a second time. Third match point. Pliskova produces the performance of a lifetime. She can scarcely believe it, as can all are we.
Well, it was tough because she was really playing well. I didn't have many chances in the third set. I was a little bit too passive, obviously mentally down. So I just said, let's try this game on 5-2. Maybe I'm going to have a couple chances. And she did, got a little bit shaky in the end. So I took my chances and I won.
Fantastic.
It really was an incredible game, and certainly at 5-1 up in the third set, not many people would have bet against Serena Williams, but that's tennis, and things can change very, very quickly. Alexi, I'm going to put you on the fence now. I'm going to put you in the middle and say you've got to make a choice. Who wins the final? Osaka, Kvitova?
I think I'm going to go with Osaka.
Osaka?
Yeah.
2 or 3 sets?
I'm going to go with 3 sets, I think.
3 sets, all right, nice. And then, of course, now tonight, we've got Nadal taking on your boy. What happens there?
Hopefully I get to see Tsitsipas win. I think he's got a great chance to get the win, yeah.
And then eventually who wins the title?
Hopefully Stefanos can win the title.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
He's going with his mates.
What about, we talked to you the other day about music. Now, you love hip-hop. You've got good taste. What is Stefanos listening to in the locker room right now?
I wouldn't know that, unfortunately, but...
Does he keep it private?
Yeah, I think he does. But I actually never seen him with headphones in, so I don't know if he listens to anything.
Okay, I just saw him getting his accreditation checked twice. Would he be okay with that? Or would he be like, do you know who I am?
No, I think he's not the one to be cocky. He'll follow the rules always.
Let him win his first Grand Slam first. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Alexi Popper and a very bright future in Australian tennis right now. Looking forward to your career unfolding now. Last night there was a famous face in the crowd. US Vogue editor Anna Wintour was here, and she loved what she saw.
I'm an avid tennis player, but a really bad tennis player, but a really good tennis fan. And I'm so thrilled to be here in Australia for the first time. Everybody loves tennis here. I mean, everybody's watching, everybody cares, everybody knows who all the players are. I mean, in New York, you know, people are interested in it, but it's not everybody. So it seems to be a real tennis city, which is great. I'm happy to see Naomi Osaka doing so well. And I always, of course, love to see Serena Williams play. She's amazing, an inspiration. Roger is always very balanced when he doesn't do so well in a tournament, and our heroes wouldn't be our heroes if they didn't lose sometimes. The players love fashion, and fashion loves them right back. From my point of view, I love the fact that they're all embracing fashion and style, and it's another expression of who they are and what they like. And sometimes I think it's fun and maybe a little silly, and sometimes you get a sense of intimidation or whatever it may be.
Well, I guarantee you this will have people talking.
I think it adds to the excitement of the sport, brings more people in, and I was, you know, thrilled to see so many amazing coloured sneakers this time, so you never know what you're going to see. I think that if you're a great athlete like Simona Halep or Serena Williams, fashion can be something that they love and enjoy, but I think that their self-esteem comes from within, and their sense of strength and their sense of the game and their sense of themselves. I always loved the way Andre Agassi used to dress. I admired his style. He was one of the first to break the rules. I like it when you feel they're enjoying themselves and what they're wearing is giving them pleasure, and that they're not taking themselves quite too seriously.
Well, for a diminutive lady, she seems quite intimidating, Catherine.
She is. I met her today. I was really scared because I've watched Devil Wears Prada, but she was absolutely lovely. It was awesome.
Well, she's clearly a tennis fan. She's in for a treat with all the tennis that's going on at the Australian Open. We are in for a treat tonight because it's Nadal, the 17-time champion, taking on the Greek upstart in Stefanos Tsitsipas. It's going to be an incredible match. There's no doubt about we are seeing the future of tennis versus a warhorse who wants to win his second Australian Open. It's Nadal versus Tsitsipas, and we're ready.
A surprise, but not a very big surprise. I know Stefanos is ready to win against everybody.
Nadal, I played him twice. I felt very close of beating him in Toronto. I remember coming back to the locker room and promising to myself I'm gonna do much better next time against him.
He's with confidence. He won a lot of good matches.
I feel alright with my game. I feel like I can do something good against him.
You are in the semi-finals of a Grand Slam. You can't expect an easy opponent, and Stefanos is one of the best players of the world.
I feel like I deserve that spot in the semis. I've been playing good tennis, percentage tennis the last 2 weeks.
I play another match, you know. If they are the next gen or not, for me what really matters is win the match and give myself a chance to be in the next round.
It's a great way to start. It's a great way to start tonight's entertainment. This is AO Extra. Welcome to Rod Laver Arena. My name is Shura Taft. This is Catherine Murphy. It's great to be with you down on court. There's a great atmosphere as the roof opens up. Get ready for the heat to come into this room. But we're about to be joined by an Australian Open legend. All right, ladies and gents, I know you're enjoying the cool, the cool of the inside. The crowd don't like this, but the sun's about to pour into this building. But as I said, we're about to get to an AO legend. This man, 27 years ago, won his first Australian Open title with his iconic partner, Todd Woodbridge. He won 12 doubles Grand Slams and 5 in the mixed doubles. He's an absolute legend of the sport. I speak of this man, Mark Woodford.
But it's been Mark Woodford, really, who I think has been the best player. We've got another one. Woodford.
That's it. That's the championship. To the Australian public, you've been wonderful during the 2 weeks here. We're out here trying 100% of the time, and we thank for your support, and we'll be back next year trying our best.
Who's that young man up on screen? It's Mark Woodford, everyone. AO legend.
Thank you.
Looking great.
I was.
Still are, of course, I should say that. 12 times doubles Grand Slam champion.
Yep.
And, of course, 5 in the mixed doubles. A lot of people won't remember the fact that you played with John McEnroe as well. That was your first Grand Slam partner, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It kick-started my career a couple of years before I started playing with Todd. But learned so much from really a master champion. It was in his backyard, US Open as well. So I learned what it was like to try and win a Grand Slam, and was able to pass that on to Todd.
How to stay calm as well.
At times, you know, maybe learn how to lose your temper at times as well.
Did you not manage to teach him that Aussie vibe, that calm, like Shura said? How did it not rub off on him? Because he's still doing it in the Legends tournament here.
It's like let the lion out of the bag, right? No, it was. There were moments that, you know, kind of wished in some matches that, you know, he could kind of, you know, get onto the opponents if it wasn't just his racket that they're talking. But look, I had a great time playing with John McEnroe. I learned a whole lot. I learned that I had to ask a lot of questions as well. But you know, treasured memories very much.
Now, the majority of people know that you're part of the iconic Woodies, and that's growing up. You were the legends of the sport. But some people forget how good you were at singles. You made the 4th round of every Grand Slam, and you made a semi-final here in 1996, which if people don't realise, that's one of the hardest eras of tennis. Sampras, Chang, Lendl, Edberg. I mean, these are amazing names, and you're there in the semi-finals.
It was a fantastic year for me. I mean, I trained exceptionally hard. Before the Australian Open, was seeing the ball well. And look, the success that I enjoyed on the doubles court, that provided the impetus to do well in singles, the belief for both Todd and I. But that year, I think if you had the choice, you know, you want to do it at your home slam on the singles court. So I had a great run. I probably took, I think it was Philippoussis in the 2nd round. He'd beaten, or the 3rd round, he'd beaten Pete Sampras the round before. So it just was a fantastic opportunity. But I lost to Boris Becker. I got beaten pretty soundly in the semi-finals, but, you know, nice to be able to say that I made the semi-finals of my home slam.
And you played Boris Becker, which, you know...
It's not bad.
Yeah, you know, he was one of the guys that actually, you know, my record against some of the top guys in singles, I was able to pick up some wins along the way, but Becker was one that I played a few times, never really got close. He had too much firepower for me.
Can we talk about the roof? Because we've just heard the crowd's reaction to that roof opening. What would you want if this was your going back to that semi-final with the temperature today and the sunlight starts to fill the stadium?
Well, back when I made the semi-finals, it was an exceptionally hot day. The ball was so lively. It was moving very quickly. I wouldn't want to play Boris Becker indoors either, because that's where, you know, he excelled on the indoor surface. If I was the fans outside, I'd want the roof closed, because I know that it's a lot better viewing for them with the air conditioning working. But for the players, I think the tournament it's an outdoor tournament, and I know the weather's been so extreme today, but right now, perfect playing conditions. I don't know if it's going to suit one or the other, Tsitsipas or Nadal, as they step out very shortly, but it's going to be hot out here on centre court.
Well, it's great to chat with you. You are an AO legend. We absolutely love you. Mark Woodford is with us, and Rod Laver's in the house as well, which is always nice when he's in his own house.
Well, you know, Rocket lives not too far away. I spend a bit of the year in California, so, you know, I get to see him, well, regularly, and it's always a thrill. I mean, being Australian, being left-hander, having, you know, kind of fair hair, freckles, fair skin, etc. You know, Rod was always an idol of mine, and it's a joy to see him here and be in the Rod Laver Arena again.
In the Shrine.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for an AO legend, Mark Woodford, who's been with us tonight. We love your work, and you'll always be an absolute icon in the sport as far as Australians go. And the Australian Open is iconic as well, and it's been such an amazing Australian Open. Everyone's loving it.